Hey everyone, good morning. Hope I'm audible. Am I audible to you guys? Is my screen being shown? Or are you able to see my screen? Thank you, Akansha and Ashish, for responding. Thank you, Anil, for responding. Okay. Yesterday, what we did was we made Wishes application where we are able to take the user from one screen or one activity to another activity. Correct? We're able to take the user from one activity to another activity. So today we will learn about implicit intents. Okay, how we can use implicit intents to display the data we want to display. Okay, let us say you want to display some apps data, right? So you want to display some maps data. So how will you display it? You want to show the URL to the user. How will you show the URL to the user? Okay, all these things we will discuss today. For that, let us create a new project, okay, and make up the UI first. Go to File, click on Close Project to close the current project. Hit on New Project, select Empty Activity, hit Next. Make sure that the application name is selected to Common Intents. Okay, you can copy this string because it is pretty useful later on. Hit on Finish to create the project in batch 15. Meanwhile, you can open your browser and search for the same thing. As you search for common intents, okay, you get this developer.android.com link. You can go to this common intent section where you'll find the entire information about all the um, all the implicit intents that you can make use of. There is another important information. Please click the chat box to get the info. So this link will expire in a couple of days. Maybe from Friday, we will use a different link for these sessions. So make sure you are reserving your seats by that time. Okay. Right. So coming back. So in this common intents page, you will have everything like how to open an alarm clock, how to use a calendar, how to use a camera to capture a picture or video and return it. How do we use contacts or people app? I mean to say, you can select a contact from contacts app. You can add a contact. You can edit a contact. You can also compose an email from your application and send it. Okay. So you can even show something on maps. So all these things, you can initiate a phone call. You can open specific settings. If you want to open one of these settings, you can open them. So all these are pretty much possible with implicit intents. We will see a couple of examples. The remaining examples, uh, Please take them as an assignment and try to explore 2 or 3 interesting um, things from this page, which is common intents. Right. I'm pasting this link in the chat for everyone to go through. Right. You can go through this link. Coming back. So we have got our project created. Let us first build the UI. If you see, the default layout is coming up, is constraint layout. Let us change it to linear layout by typing 2 capitals. You get linear layout in the suggestion. Easy, right? Choose it. Once it is done, also set the orientation of this layout to vertical. You can remove this text view, which is of no use right now. So what do I want? If you want to display some URL, let us say for URL, you need to take the URL from the user. So if you ask me, is it mandatory to take the URL from the user? No, I would say no. You can also open any URL of your interest. You can simply place a button and let the button work for you. That is absolutely possible. But in this case, we are getting the URL from the user. So how do we get it? With the help of an edit text box. Width to match parent, height to wrap content, close the edit text. Provide a hint, just like we did yesterday. We will say enter URL. Also, you can give an ID for the text field. We would call it web underscore URL, and that's it. So after this edit text box, you can also have a button that matches the parent's width, wraps the contents height, can close the button as it is. Then you can display some text on this button. I would say open browser. And yesterday we have seen a shortcut. We can have an on-click event handler, and that can trigger a method on main activity. And the method I want it to be open browser with no spaces, because method names in Java do not have spaces in between. So how do we create open browser? So Alt enter, or you can also right click here and go to show context actions. That gives you create open browser in main activity. You can select this. Now here we are going to perform the logic. So the logic for no, it is not completely deprecated, Altaf, but yeah, it is about to be deprecated. However, we know how to handle button clicks, right? So we need not to worry about it. If this is not the approach, we can also take an ID for the button, and then we can set up an on-click event handler on top of the button. So the logic for opening the browser goes here. Okay. How does it go here? First of all, you need to create the edit text object. Edit text. Okay. Edit text et equals to. So how do we initialize it? Find view by ID. R dot ID dot URL web URL. Yeah, that is the ID we gave for the edit text box. Once the ID is taken, you will read text. So string link is equal to et dot get text dot to string, because from the edit text box you can always read the data in the form of a text. right? Once it is done, here comes the main logic. So if you want to open a browser, you can see how to load a web URL. If you want to load a web URL for your intent object, the first argument that you want to pass is the type of action you want to perform. So what is the action type? It is action view. And what is the next one? The next one is the schema. So data schema. So data schema is usually given in a URI. So URI.parse would help us. However, you cannot directly pass a URL because the data schema should start with HTTP or HTTPS. Only then we get to open a web browser. I'll show you that in small steps. First, prepare the URI. So URI data is equal to URI dot parse out. Now you give the schema. So what is the schema? HTTPS:// and whatever the string that is entered by the user, you give it here, which is link. Now your data part is ready. Now prepare the action. So what is the action that you want to perform? So intent action is equal to intent dot action view. So this gives a string actually. So you can convert it to string, by the way. Sorry. Oh shit, no. So string action is equal to action view. Now you prepare the intent object. So intent I is equal to new intent and you pass on the data. So first you will pass the action, then you will pass the data. Now simply you know how to raise an intent. You can simply call start activity and send I to it. Let's run the application and also watch the output. Okay, right. This is the regular error. I'll fix it. It's fixed. We can run the app now. So this is the main logic. Okay. We have got the string and then converted it as data type. And then action is taken. And we are passing on both of them into an intent object. Finally, we are calling start activity method. Right. So I will enter a URL. Let us say facebook.com. Okay. So for this facebook.com, this HTTPS will be appended. And only then this intent will open the browser. Otherwise, it will not open the browser. If there is no HTTPS : or if there is no HTTP : your URL will not be opened. That is the problem. Now hit on open browser and that takes us directly to the Google Chrome. All right. So it is not only that you should give facebook.com, you can give any other website for that matter. Let us say inshorts.com. If you click on open browser, you get to see the top stories on Instagram, inshorts.com. See, What? OLX to lay off 1,500 employees. All right. Nice. So you understood how to open a browser. So generally what people do is they will not write these lengthy statements. Instead, what they'll write is intent I is equal to, they'll create a new object. Then for the action, they will give intent dot action view. And for the data, what will they do? URI dot rs of double quotations HTTPS colon double slash, and they will add the. So this is how they usually write it. I'm commenting it out though. However, this is how we generally write it in the future, because we cannot separate out each and everything that we pass to the constructor of your intent object. Correct? Yeah. Hope you understood this. If you understood this, we will see how to open maps. Thanks, Akansha, for responding. There are 18 participants, and I am only getting responses from a few. Thank you, Shika. Thank you, Altaf. Cool. Seems like you're doing good. Thank you, Sweta Krishnan. Right. So let us proceed further and see how to open maps. So for this, we will be using the same application. I don't want to use a different one. However, okay, for if that is the case, you can actually copy these two items, paste them here, change the ID of the retext box, maps underscore et. Okay. Now instead of calling open browser, I'd like to say open maps. And for on-click event handler, I'd say open maps. So these open maps must be created on main activity, and I'm doing it easily. Right. So the hint also has to change. Enter address. Simple tweaks I'm doing. Okay. I have also created open maps method here. I can actually copy this link. Actually copy it here. You can paste it here. Change the web URL to what? Maps underscore it. That's it. And here link to address. Very easy thing. Okay. Right. So what do we want to do? We want to prepare data first. So the first step is data or the action. So check if what action should be performed for maps. Can view from maps. If you see, if you want to give stated, there are different URL schemas available. If you are working with latitude and longitude, you can go with this URL schema. If you also have a certain zoom level to set, the maximum value of a zoom level is 23, which gives you the closest view of a latitude and longitude values. You can also use geocolon 0,0 square q is equal to, and after that you can append your address. Cool. So first of all, create the string called action. In the action that I want to perform is, if you check here, the action is always action view for maps. Sometimes this would be different, guys. So make sure that you're looking at the action before you give it. Otherwise, you'll get inappropriate results. Now you can write intent dot action view. After this, you prepare the data. So how do you prepare data? URI you use URI. Data is equal to URI dot parse of. And what is the schema we have? It is geo colon 0 comma 0 question mark q is equal to, you can add the address here. So address is coming from the user. Once it is done, you know how to create an intent object. So these two lines can be copied, I would say. These two lines can be copied. However, I don't want to do all copy pasting stuff. So intent I equals new intent. And in here, you can write action. And then you can also write data. Finally, you can call start activity of I. You're done. Easy. You can run the application and see how it runs. It's a very easy thing to implement, guys. Too easy to implement. Let us say if I give Hyderabad. If I click on open maps, I get to see the entire Hyderabad map. See, this is the entire Hyderabad map. What if I give a precise location? What if I give Naresh Technologies Hyderabad? Okay. What if I do search for it? I get to see Naresh Technologies only. See, the exact location is pointed out. These are the images we have. This is from our labs, actually. So, this is for our classes. So, posted by users, actually. Okay. However, you are able to see the data, correct? You're able to see where it is located. The exact address is also being given. In the similar way, instead of geo colon 0 comma 0 question mark q is equal to schema, if you have latitude and longitude values, you can use this schema directly. So geo colon, you give the latitude value, and after that give the longitude values. So you must be pretty much aware of how to write these things. Okay. So try to use one of these things, guys. Try to work with maps also. Okay. So now that I have discussed two implicit intents with you, what about the rest? You may ask me. I cannot discuss everything, guys. I'm making it very clear for you. When a concept is explained, you can try your hands on other concepts, like the related concepts. You can ping me if you get it out. But sincerely, you need to practice. So that is how we learn things, right? So my suggestion is that at least choose two other implicit intents. Just choose two other implicit intents from this link, which I have shared in the chat. And practice them. Try to complete them. Try to prepare a UI, get the thing done for you. Let us say you want to add an alarm clock. What do you require for alarm clock? See, the action is changed. Action is set alarm. Now, how do you get the data? Data URI, there is no data URI at all. Extras are there. For intent, extras are there. You have to add an extra minutes, message, days, ringtone, vibrate, skip UI. So there is an example given. You can see this. See, alarm clock dot action set alarm. And for this intent, extras are put. Extra message, what is the message? Extra hour, which hour? Extra minutes, which minute? After that, the alarm is set. So if you want to just try it out, you can try it out as well. Just copy and paste it. Suprit is asking about the previous class video link. Suprit, you will get all these links from the admin sir. You can ping John sir personally. Okay, he'll share you the links. I do not have an access to my videos. Right? Cool. So yeah, for this we require an alarm permission also to be added on manifest file. So kindly see that how to add a permission on manifest file. Right. So this is all I have for today. This is all I have for today. Right. I will be pushing these changes, whatever is discussed today with you. All this implicit intents concept, I will be pushing it into GitHub. And there is another important information I'd like to convey, and that is about the sessions link. The sessions link will expire tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last class we will have on this link. From Friday, whoever have reserved their seat, only they will be given the Zoom link. Make sure to reserve the seat so that you will get those links without fear. Okay, this is just for your information. Right, the changes are pushed to GitHub. Try it out there. Okay, please try out, practice, and also try to do 1 or 2 more examples on implicit intents. Only then you'll get to understand it appropriately. Okay, cool. So hope you enjoyed the session. Tomorrow we will meet at the same time at sharp 7 o'clock in the morning. Till then, take care. Have a good day. Enjoy. And do not forget to register or reserve your seat before the end of tomorrow, because the day after tomorrow you will be attending the session in a fresh link. If you do not reserve your seat, yeah, you cannot attend the session, unfortunately. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye bye.